Hey y'all, how's it going? And welcome back to a very exciting ThuREADSday! Recently, I celebrated my 26th birthday. Last year for my birthday, I was visiting my family in Arizona, and my husband Cameron told me that he had a very special birthday surprise for me, but I had to keep my eyes closed the entire time while we were driving over there. And when I opened my eyes, he put me in front of a used bookstore. Basically, he told me that for my birthday, people had contributed a certain amount of money for me to go on a book shopping spree. What? I had so much fun just getting all of these different books that I had wanted to read. At that point, I was still developing my library quite a bit. So needless to say, it was one of the best birthdays ever. And so because of that, I wanted to do it again. And I do want to give out a little bit of a disclaimer as far as like my opinions on book hauls and book shopping, hauls in general, etc. So I consider myself somebody who very much cares about the things that she owns. I don't like being wasteful. I like saving money and only spending it on things that I know for a fact that I will use. And so I will probably not do these book hauls very often. I'm very careful that all of the things on my bookshelf are things that I am actually going to read or reread, or at the very least suggest to somebody else to read. So this is not something that I commonly do. But I have literally had these books on my Amazon wishlist for years. And because of that, I knew for a fact that I wanted them. So I am staying within my budget of $120 that I did the year previously for my birthday. I also consider myself a book collector, not a book hoarder. And because of that, I do feel confident that these are books that I will enjoy and use, and they will be very well loved here. But with that out of the way, let's get started with the video. Good morning, everybody. I am about to buy $120 worth of books on Amazon. I think that my budget last year was also $120, but this is the first time that I have used my own money. My own money, not a gift, my own money to buy books. This is most definitely the most money that I have spent on books, and now I'm like really nervous to press yes. Okay, we're just gonna do it. I am so excited. I wasn't able to get one book set, but that's okay. I think I'm going to get it next week. Oh, I'm scared. Ready? Making sure everything is right before I press go. Okay, so all of these books are going to get here on September 9th. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. I can't believe that I bought all of these books. Happy birthday to me. There it is. Ah. Woohoo! They're here. And a day early. I'm actually quite surprised of how light the box is. Oh, you guys think this box is for you? Oh boy. Okay. It'll literally be like on the edge of the bed. This is quite literally like the best place that I could do this at. Hello. Okay. Let me go get some keys, scissors. Let's open this bad boy up. All right, so the thing is, I know exactly what is in this box. So I know exactly what books I got, but I want to share the books that I got with you. Some of them I have read, some of them I have not read. Oh my gosh, the sun is stressing me out. If I'm washed out at any point, sorry. This is literally the best lighting that I can get in my house because I have like no windows in my house, and the windows that I do have in my house never face the sun, so you can actually see me. So it's a big deal. Here we go. I'm so excited about this. I've never gotten myself just like a box of books before. All right, the first book is in this box. We have got 6 of Crows. Okay, we've got the Six of Crows duology. Now, I understand that you need to read Shadow and Bone for kind of more like a prequel and an understanding of the background of the world building before you read Six of Crows, as of my understanding. Please tell me if I am wrong, because I would love to read the books in the way that they should be read. Usually I am not a big fan of duologies either. So because I have heard such amazing things about Six of Crows and about Shadow and Bone and all that sort of stuff, like you can tell, I'm like, okay, if it's good enough that I can get past the fact that it is a duology, you know it's been hyped. Right, Six of Crows, have not read, but now own. Do not eat the book. Okay, I don't trust you. Ooh, okay. This is, let's open it up. Come on. Come on. Do I need to get my mini? Ooh, got it. Gotta be really careful to not like rip the pages. Ooh, The Book Thief. Also heard a lot about this one too. I remember when I was really, really little, like when I was 9 years old and my grandma was reading this book and said it was incredible. And that was around the time, well, maybe I was like 9 or 12. I always get those ages mixed up. But in any case, when I was a younger kid, I was getting really interested in history, specifically things that happened in World War II. So this book has always captured my interest. Apparently it is in the perspective of death, which I find really cool. Haven't read a book where it is in that perspective yet. Can we not eat the box while I'm doing this? Can we not? Thank you. I have not read this book yet, but holy smokes, I did not realize how big it was until recently. This is like a 500 page book. So I have a little bit of big book fear that I'm gonna have to get over. Haven't read yet, but now I own it. While I'm at it, I'm gonna open up this bad boy too, if I can. Oh my gosh, this is bad. Ah, I want it to be out of the plastic. I want it to breathe. Ah. Oh, that feels so good. Six of Crows. And Crooked Kingdom. Little book ASMR as I'm turning whiter by the second. I just keep moving the camera. There's gonna be like a million angles at the end of this. As long as I am focused, that's all I care about. Next, it's so cute. Oh my gosh. That's another big one. Look at how pretty it is. This is Little Women. I specifically got Puffin Books, the Puffin Books version. Stop. That's so cute. Okay, so obviously I know the story about Little Women. I have watched one of the adaptations in the movies, not the most recent one though. I want to wait until I read it and then I can watch the newer adaptation. And I have been dying to watch that movie, absolutely dying, but I feel like I want to do it differently this time around. I'm trying to be dedicated and trying my hardest to just read it as it should be and then watching the film and making comparisons, because, you know, I love doing that. Haven't read yet, but it's on my to-do list. Holy smokes, but look at that. That is like, look at that. Lap, right? Okay, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. This was, I think I made a mistake. Okay, so this is the funniest mistake I've ever made. Okay, so this is a book that I have read. And the reason why I chose it was because it said that it was illustrated. I think I got the version for people that have a really hard time with their eyesight. Which is like, fine. It was just unintentional. Okay, so the illustrations are in there and they're very cool, but like, it's so big. It's like, look at this. Okay, so for, I guess, like context, I have read this book. I've already read this book already, which is why I wanted to buy it and put it in my library, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. My sister was telling me for the longest time, like, have you read The Picture of Dorian Gray? Have you read The Picture of Dorian Gray? Have you read The Picture of Dorian Gray? And so finally, I read it. And it was really convenient because there was a book club that I was previously a part of when I was in Montana, and they were reading this book. So I was like, perfect, I'm just gonna read that book. It took me like 4 months to read when I was only supposed to take me 1 because I kept getting distracted. But I really did love this book. I don't know how I feel about it being this big, specifically for my library, but I don't want to return it. Look at how pretty it is. Oh, I don't know what to do, but I don't know if it's gonna fit on my bookshelf. That is hilarious. That is so funny. It is like ginormous. So far, this is the only book that I've read. I can't get over how huge it is. Ooh, okay. Oh, how fun. They put them together. So these next two books, I actually know two of the authors personally. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Jeff Wheeler. So Jeff Wheeler writes a lot of fantasy books. He's written so many of them, and a lot of them are very like specific on the location called Muirwood. So it says here, The Dawning of Muirwood the Druid, and this is one of his newer books, and he has so many of them. Kind of like he writes a bunch of fantasy books, but he makes them all in the same universe, which is pretty cool because you don't see that a lot of the time. And so I have read two of his books, and I've been meaning to read more, but he writes them so damn fast I can't keep up with him. So this is the Druid. I'm gonna have to make sure that I have this as like the first book. Like I need to ensure that this is the first book of like another series or trilogy about Muirwood. Haven't read yet, but now I have it. And I need to get some more Jeff Wheeler books. I wonder if he's watching this and he's like, girl, you just bought one of my books. I know, I'm sorry. All right, and then the next one is a novella, Trekker, by Bethany Vota. Also, she has a YouTube channel. She doesn't post on it as much just because she explains that she mainly made the AuthorTube channel to try and connect with other authors and make friends, but she still does make videos periodically, so I'll tag her down below. I have been wanting to get this book for years as well. I'm pretty sure she came out with this book either last year or 2 years ago, and I'm trying to get into the habit of buying more books from my AuthorTube friends. I have a lot of them on Kindle, but I don't have as many physical copies, and I want to get some more physical copies. So this is Trekker. Look how pretty the front cover is. It's so cool. Like you got the silhouette, but then you also got like the log cabin in the back. So pretty. That is one thing that I struggle with, is trying to figure out really good book covers. So there's Trekker, Bethany Vota. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this one. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so technically, I haven't read this book, but I know the story. Look at how pretty it is. So when I was in high school, Percy Jackson, all the rage. It was my life in middle school. This was like the era of Twilight, Hunger Games, Percy Jackson. All of these amazing good books were just coming out and creating entire franchises. And maybe that's what began my dream of becoming one of those authors. I'm like, oh, to just have a franchise, that'd be so dope. But because I got more into Percy Jackson, I also got more into Greek mythology and Greek stories. And because I got really into Greek mythology, we also were learning about it more in school. And so it was something that I hyper-focused on and hyper-fixated on for a really long time. And I had this English teacher, by far, one of my favorite teachers of all time. I think I've talked about him a couple of times. Mr. Steed, instead of having us like read through books about the Iliad and the Odyssey, he just decided like, I know the story like the back of my hand. I'm just gonna tell it to my students. So literally there were so many different classes where I knew we were just gonna sit and have story time and hear about the Iliad and the Odyssey. And he relayed the story so incredibly well. Like I know so many things about this book already and I haven't even technically read the book. And it was incredible because he's a great storyteller. The Iliad was good, you know, like the Iliad was very classic, like big Greek mythology war story connected with all the Greek goddesses and all that sort of stuff. You know, it was good. It was good. But I loved the character Odysseus. I felt like he was the backbone of the Iliad. And so when the Odyssey was just about Odysseus, I lost my mind. And so now I have a beautiful book all about the Iliad and the Odyssey. Like you need the Iliad to understand the Odyssey. So I am not discrediting the Iliad at all, but like Odysseus is top tier. And now I'm curious if this has been translated from Greek to English or if it has been translated from, I don't know what you would call like the Roman, Latin. I really had a moment there. So I'm curious if this version that I got has been translated from Greek to English or from Latin to English, because from what I have understood, Greek is a little bit different than English, obviously, but Latin is a lot of how the English language was created throughout the centuries. So whenever you translate it from Latin to English, it is a lot easier to read because it makes more sense and it translates a little bit better. So I'm curious of how they did this. Generally, it's translated from Greek to English, but occasionally you do get a Latin to English version. But I'm really excited. And look at how gorgeous it is. Are you kidding me? I am a whore for pretty books, truly. Look at that, look at it. It's gold. I can't believe I bought so many books for myself. It makes me so happy. Last, but certainly not least, and you're gonna learn something about me. One of my favorite books of all time, and I haven't read it again recently, but I am planning on reading it again because Disney Plus came out with a television show about this book, which I had no idea they were gonna do. I thought that I was reading a book that was so unknown, but like such an unknown treasure that I was shocked when Disney Plus came up with the show. I haven't seen it yet because I wanted to reread the books first, but I didn't know until years after reading this book that it was a series. Introducing The Mysterious Benedict Society. I am obsessed with The Mysterious Benedict Society. Obsessed. I love the way that it's written. I love all of the quirky characters. And I love it. It's brilliant. It's wonderful. It's perfect. Is that a prequel I see? They have a prequel. So it looks like they have 4 books. Right here. I've only read the first one all the way through. I went halfway through the second one. I haven't read the third or the fourth, and I'm so excited to read them. And there's a prequel? Are you kidding me? I didn't notice this until just now. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. Okay, we gotta put all these books together. Oh, but before I do that, I do want to give some honorable mentions. I did not buy the books that I'm going to show you. However, they were gifted to me for my birthday as well. So I feel like they deserve a little bit of a shout out. We're gonna start out with the book that my mom gave me. Another very pretty book, The Wind in the Willows. So I got a version of The Wind in the Willows that was like a super old antique version from the library that was in Montana where I lived. But it was also kind of hard to read because the writing was really small and it was like super old and crusty. And I liked it, but I saw this at Barnes & Noble and I'm like, I gotta have this. So I was with my mom in Barnes & Noble and I was like, that book is so pretty. And my mom's like, do you want it for your birthday? And so now I have it. Look how pretty this is. And they have illustrations too. Stop. Okay, and the next 2 were gifted to me by my dear friends, and they were the ones who actually introduced me to Brandon Sanderson. So they got me the second Brandon Sanderson book to Mistborn, because I've already finished reading Mistborn. You can go check out that video if you want to see me completely geek out and join the cult of Brandon Sanderson. Absolutely love his work, incredible, and apparently I've heard they only get better. And I'm like, how can it get better than Mistborn? Like, it can't, can it? Apparently it can. So I am stoked. I'm so stoked to read this. Oh, I'm so excited to have it for myself and also to have a pretty copy of it because my dog ruined Mistborn, like literally RIP'd the back cover. He's looking very guilty right now. Buddy, I know you were just trying to get your energy out. It's okay. We didn't even rip the whole book, so it's okay. Okay, and the last one. This is called Legends and Lattes. I am very active in playing D&D with my friends, and apparently this story is about some D&D adventurers and heroes that are a little tired of their crazy journey of being, you know, heroes and having to fight people all the time. They kind of just want to settle down, and so they decide to make a coffee shop together. Apparently it's just a very sweet, cozy read. It's a little bit more of like a fanfic, but I'm very excited to read this. And here they are in all their glory. Look at them! Best birthday ever. I seriously am thinking about making this like a tradition. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the point where I will be like, I want as many books as years old am I. I feel like that'd be excessive. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it giving a thumbs up. Sayonara, you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, but wait, we gotta put them up. We gotta put them in the new house.